And we're live. Live. Maybe I'll do this. Does that work? Does that make it seem like we're live? Hey, everybody. I'm early. I know. So there. So what? So this is the first of the return of office hours. If you never watched office hours before, sort of randomly a couple times a week, I would go live while I was working on something. Sometimes I would literally just work on something with the camera on, and then you could see my screen while I was writing it. I might do that again. Maganda Gumaga, Raymond. Good to see you back. And then when we split to do DTNS Live, we are having trouble streaming it to your destination. Oh, the Patreon stream didn't work. Well, that sucks. All right. Well, we intend to stream these on Patreon, but apparently it didn't work. We're having trouble streaming your destination. The possible stream was ended. This can also occur if the server key is incorrect. We'll keep. Okay. So I was assured that that was working, and I don't think it is. Anyway, back to the office hours. The office hours, I stopped doing them because I ran out of time, is the short version of that. And now they're back. So, hey, it's good to see so many people piling in. Clinton, good to see you. Zoe, good to see you. Somebody gave me an idea for something to talk about because I'm going to do the editor's desk. Normally what I'll do on Monday, I'll do the editor's desk. So it'll basically be office hours, but I'll do the editor's desk. But because Monday was a holiday, I'm doing it today. And then on Tuesday, I'll just chat with y'all about whatever. I'm sure this will form itself into something more normal as time goes on. But yeah, that's what's going on now. We'll get into the swing of things, but yeah, this came from George in Florida, in the Discord here. It is, Big Desk Energies post, Substack just killed the creator economy. Oh no. I don't know Big Desk Energy, so I'm not going to tar them with the same brush as everyone else. But a lot of times people write these kinds of things because it gets you to spread them around, like George did. But I think this is a misunderstanding and misexplanation of what's going on. This article sort of spins it as a money grab for Substack, when in fact, Substack makes no extra money off of this. What's going on is that Substack is doing what Patreon had to do, which is give Apple 30% of any subscription purchased through Substack. And what they didn't do, and this is the part where I will agree, that's not the greatest move, is they didn't give you a chance to turn it off. Patreon gives you a chance to be like, I just won't take subscriptions in Apple's app. You can decide to do that. And we didn't think you were going to be able to decide to do that. And then that changed. Substack, you know what? Now that I'm saying that, maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe you still have to offer it, but you can direct people elsewhere. That might be the case. Anyway, Patreon was going to have to get rid of per creation billing because of that. It's one of the reasons Justin Robert Young moved to Substack. And then when the court case for anti-steering ordered Apple to be like, no, you can't stop people from telling people about other places to subscribe. Patreon pulled back and was like, oh, great. Yeah, no, you can now we can keep per creation billing because you can send them somewhere else to subscribe to Patreon and per creation billing. If they were going to have to keep it through Apple, Apple doesn't allow per creation billing. And so they were going to have to get rid of it. Hey, Lucky Chucky. Hey, Adam12. Good to see y'all. So Substack's having to do the same thing. This is an Apple thing. This is Apple saying you have to use our store because you're a digital service. They didn't used to make Patreon do that, and they didn't used to make Substack do that. Now they're making Substack do that. So either you don't allow, you are just a reader app, and you don't take any subscriptions, or you take subscriptions through us. The anti-steering rules have loosened it up so that you can take the subscription through Apple, but tell people there's another alternative. And what this blog is getting upset about is that Substack is adding 30% to the fee in in the Apple Store version of it. The That's because Apple takes 30%. So they're just adding the amount that Apple's going to take. Now, again, Patreon did this differently. Patreon said you can either choose to add 30% or you can choose to eat the 30% yourself and just take 30% less from your Apple subscribers. That's up to you. And Substack did not give you that choice. So you basically, if you're a Substack creator on your Substack, anybody who subscribes through Apple's App Store is going to is going to pay 30% more, and you won't get your payment as fast because it will be coming through Apple's system instead of Stripe. But this is not, this is not the creator economy dying. This is not Substack doing it. They're required to do this by Apple. They could, I believe, choose not to be part of the pay, not take payments in the app at all. And they don't right now, I think. So maybe it's a change of like, we want to take payments in the app and we're allowed to steer you to another place. So let's do that. And that's going to mean we're going to have the App Store stuff and it's going to have to be 30% higher, but we'll steer people somewhere else. So anyway, that's what that's about. I don't think it's going to make George was like, has Jury or any other podcaster ranted about this change by Substack? I don't know if Jury has, but honestly, it's not that big of a deal for me. All right. Did you see these yet? These were recommended to me by, I believe, Rob Dunwood. They clean your glasses. I got some smudges on my glasses right now that I'm just seeing because I got these lights on. This is the oldest old man as seen on TV product ever, and it's great. It's just got two little microfiber pads on either side, and then you just clean them off. Done and done. What are you all talking about Marriott's in there? Where did Zoe stay in Seattle? The Hyatt Regency close to the convention center. It was expensive, but I got a little discount through group booking with the convention I went to. Oh, that's nice. Clinton's a Marriott fan. Because of points. Yeah, I got points too. All right. Will they work on contacts? Larry in Atlanta wants to know. I haven't tried. I mean, you could reach in there and just, like tweezers, pull them out. Oh, yeah. Let me find a link for those eyeglass cleaners. I think I just got mine through Amazon. Orders, your orders. Wow, Amazon being weird right now. It's like taking every move of my mouse as a click. Okay, that's better. Here we go. PC Mini sunglass, eyeglass, microfiber here. This is what they look like. There's the link. There you go, Fred. Pack of 5 for $7.98. You might be able to find individual items cheaper. There's a bunch of different folks who make them. It's clearly not patented. So your mileage may vary. I think I got the link from Rob Dunwood and got the same ones that he got. All right. I am going to do the editor's desk now. And yeah, they work really well, Howard. I mean, I had a bunch of smudges. Here, I've got some smudges that I just put on here. And then you just put them across. Oh, okay. Now they're not working as well. No, there we go. No, it took me a second. All right, done. Okay. Time for the editor's desk. That means that I have to go and find my editor's desk emails. Can you clean the cleaners? Yeah, you just get a microfiber. Clean the... I'm kidding. I don't know if you can clean. I don't know if you can clean the... Hey, good afternoon, E. Clay. All right. Where's my editor's desk emails? Ooh, we really have that many? Wow, I got a lot of them. Okay. Let's do this. I need to get my editor's desk thing. Let's see, where is that? Oh, I moved it to a different Rodecaster thing. There it is. All right. And get my audio hijack ready to go. Who's ready? You're ready. All right, here we go.
And now, the editor's desk.
Oh, yeah, we have an official editor's desk opening. Thank you, Howard Yermish, for doing that. That was amazing. It was unsolicited. He just sent it to me over the weekend, and I was really, really, really excited by that. That was amazing. We are doing the editor's desk live on YouTube and Twitch and LinkedIn. Right now. So, say hi to all the people that are listening while I record this. Editor's Desk, if you are new or unfamiliar, is a weekly perk for the patrons, where they can ask me anything about what's going on in the show and then get it delivered to them as a podcast. And if you are lucky enough to catch me watching it live, doing it live, then you can get it then too. All right. I'm going to start with Jay. Somebody was asking is DTNS Live still going to be called DTNS Live if it's weekly? And I was like, yeah, I think so. We have all kinds of things on the channel that are daily. So it's just DTNS, Daily Tech News Show, for all of them. And that's just the live one. Jay said, keep the D. It's still as daily as it was before you split the feeds. I'm curious how that's going to work starting next week. I eventually settled on only the live feed and skipping headlines and briefing. Am I going to miss a few episodes before I remember I have to pick up one of those feeds again to keep getting my daily fix of tech news? I don't know. Let us know, Jay. Did you miss any episodes or not? We also got Sylvan. Hello, Tom. Regarding the naming of the live show, I see no issue with DTNS Live, even if it's no longer daily, just like Editor's Desk, which already is weekly, and it has the DTNS name and logo. As long as the briefing show stays daily, the D in DTNS remains relevant. I'm not sure if this was already covered, but are you still planning bonus shows like weekend editions, interviews, and know a little more? I think you did mention it, but now I'm wondering if it was wishful thinking. Have a great weekend, Sylvan. Yes, we are definitely. In fact, we've got a weekend edition, I believe, in the works. And the bonus show is already scheduled, and we'll do more interviews. Know a little more has been on involuntary hiatus, not planned. It's just I haven't got around to it. So yeah, hope to get back to know a little more as well. Brian with a really good editor's desk question. We're all pulling for you and the DTNS family. Thank you very much. The question is, as things ebb and flow through time and the new hotness wears off and shows either stand on their own or not, is it always the revenue which drives those decisions? A hypothetical. A beloved show which does not generate enough to cover its costs survives because the creators love it. How long does a show like that survive in your world? The reason I ask is we all have passions. I have my Substack, which I need to get back to as I have been really busy this summer, and others have their pet projects. But when the show is there to generate income, things have to change. So how long and how many shows exist just because you love them? No, it doesn't have to make revenue to continue to exist. It just has to be fun if it's not going to make revenue. So in my world, it's interesting. I think maybe there's a misimpression that DTNS Live I don't know. Maybe there's not a misimpression, but the point with DTNS Live was, I needed to pay people to do it, right? When there's a show that I'm making money off of, I want to pay the people who help me make the money off of it, right? So there's a money-making show, then I want everyone to get fairly compensated for that. When the money starts to change, then I have to change the compensation. Now, ideally, the money's going up and I get to give everybody a raise, but that's not always what happens. And so you have to cut it. If a show is not making enough money, I don't know that a show ever becomes too costly to make. I think it really ends up being, is it worth it for someone to continue to do it at the money they're going to get, right? So if I'm making, oh, look at that. Laminar Rainbow gave me a super sticker just for the office hours. Laminar, you're the best. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So yeah, if you're like, oh, I'm getting $100 per episode, and I do, 5 episodes a month, that's worth doing. But if you're like, oh, I'm only getting $5 per episode and I'm doing 5 per month, maybe that's not worth doing. Or maybe you're like, I don't really care. The $5 is great, but I just do it to show up. So I've got all of those kinds of shows. The Daily Tech News Show and the DTNS family of podcasts, pay my rent. They pay Sarah, they pay Roger, they pay Joe, they pay Amos, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that is, let's see how much money is coming in and let's pay people in accordance to the money that's coming in. And recently we've had to be like, oh, well, this show is making money, but this show isn't. So we have to shift things around and we have to change what we pay for this show, et cetera, et cetera. Then there's shows like Sword and Laser and It's a Thing where we make money doing it, but I don't know if I would yet call any of those profitable. It's more like, oh, you get a little money for the time you spent doing it. It's more like tips. It's like, oh, you do this show and you get tipped, right? It's not enough for us to bring on a bunch of extra people and pay them like I do with Daily Tech News Show. But it's a nice compensation for what we do. Then there's East Meets West, which we haven't done, we're doing like 1 episode a year these days, honestly, Roger and I, and maybe we'll be able to get back to doing them more often. We make no money off that. And so we just do it when we want, and we are beholden to no one because of that. So yeah, there are definitely pet projects and passion projects and things like that. And then there's all kinds of, variations in between. But that was a great question, Brian. Thank you for sending that along. Let's see. Charles wrote, currently I have distinct feeds in Pocket Cast for each of your shows. Will I need to add any new ones like for Live With It? Yes, specifically for Live With It. Starting this Wednesday, so tomorrow as I'm recording this, Live With It starts as a weekly series hosted by Sarah Lane, produced by Roger Chang. The first episode is Sarah talking about her rice cooker. We've got an episode with Dr. Nikki coming about a pet tracker, one from me about X-Reel, and there's others in the works. And if you are a DTNS Live subscriber, it will come to your Acast feed. If you are, or you can just subscribe to Live With It on its own. Just as an open podcast. Those are ad-supported podcasts. However, if you're a patron, you need to go get the Live With It feed from Patreon, or if you're a Substack subscriber, you need to go get the Live With It feed from Substack. So those are things you will have to do. Now, if you're a Patreon subscriber, you'll see the post. It's just if you want it to show up in Pocket Casts, you'll have to go add that feed. And we did that because Live With It is different enough that we know, like, oh, so some people will want to listen to that one as soon as it comes out. Like, they'll want just that feed. We're putting it in the DTNS Live Acast feed for the people who don't support us on Patreon and Substack to let them know it's there. And then eventually we're going to tell people like, hey, the free trial is over. Go subscribe to the Live With It feed. But that's more of a feed drop kind of marketing temporary thing. Hey, look at that, Lon. Notification on YouTube worked, probably because I scheduled it. I think that makes a big difference. I know it doesn't even always work when I schedule it, but that's probably what it was. So there you go, Charles. I hope that helps some. Final one here from Anon Jr. Thinking about the pre-show banter and 3 years ago, I had to start answering unknown numbers as not all the numbers from Duke Health showed up as caller ID on part of the hospital. That's related to whether you answer your phone or not in this given day and age. Also, and maybe this is better as an editor's desk question, which is why I marked it here. What option does the crew use to get professional mail without necessarily giving out your home address? I need to look into a few, and I noted someone mentioned UPS boxes, and there was some other service someone said. My stepfather passed away a few weeks ago. I'm sorry to hear that, non-junior, and I'll be moving to mom's house to take care of her for a while. I'd rather not have my domain registrations and whatnot pointing to her house. Gotcha. I use the UPS store. I think those are worth looking into if you can find one that's well reviewed. The one I use, which is at 11870 Santa Monica Boulevard, because that's our mailing address for Daily Tech News Show. That's why I'm happy to give that out. Is very well run. The woman, Ara, who runs it, has run it the entire time I've used it. I've been using it for more than 10 years. It's great. She's great. She employs great people. She's understanding of my erratic schedule of picking things up because I don't live in the neighborhood anymore. But they're just wonderful. Not all UPS stores are that well reviewed because they are franchisees. So they are run differently depending on who runs them. So I would look into your local UPS store options and see if one's got glowing reviews. And if it does, that's a really good option because they provide the ability to not only get your mail, but also packages and stuff. Sometimes you may be like, I'm worried about that package, being picked up off the porch or something, or I'm going to be out of town. You can have a package sent there and then they'll just hold it for you. I've got a package I have to go pick up at the UPS store soon. So I would look at that. The other option is just a good old fashioned United States postal system. I say this because a non-junior I know is in the U.S. U.S. postal system mailbox. You can get those on a monthly basis, and maybe you only need it for a few months. You can take that out. I haven't tried those, but I know people who have them, and they're like, yeah, they're fine. They are a little less flexible than the UPS store about what kinds of things they will put in them because they're under federal regulations. UPS store is under some federal regulations, but because it's a private business, they can make up some of their own rules. And Clinton says that U.S. postal boxes can now receive packages from UPS and FedEx, which makes it sound like maybe they didn't used to, and now you can. So that helps that quite a bit. Those are the two I know of, and maybe I'll ask around, see if I can find some more, or if you have any follow-up questions, just let me know. But yeah, that's the way we handle the PO box at DTNS. We have a UPS store, and everything for the show goes there. If anybody's like, can I mail you something? I'm like, yes, here you go. 11870 Santa Monica Boulevard, Suite 106551. That's the address of the UPS store combined with my mailbox in one number, but it looks like an office address when you put it out that way. So it's nice. And Clinton's saying the same thing. They provide a separate street address format to use with those carriers: post office street address plus suite number and PO box number. It's exactly what the UPS store does too. Alrighty. So there you go. That is everything I've got for the editor's desk today. Big thank you again to Howard, for making the open. I just want to play it again.
And now the editor's desk.
So good. So good. I love that. Of course, if you are a patron, you get these delivered directly into your podcaster of choice, podcast app of choice through patreon.com/DTNS. Talk to you later. Thanks everybody for supporting the show. Bye. I definitely have a different feel when I'm doing the editor's desk live than when I just record it. I don't know what it is. There's more of a feeling of performing, I think. I don't know. It's interesting. Hey, GPEG84. Yes, that is it. That is the editor's desk. That is, it's about, I don't know, how long was this one? 12 minutes? Yeah, 12 minutes, 30 seconds, 36 seconds long. Sometimes it's longer, depending on whether we get emails from people. Sometimes it's shorter, depending on what's going on. And it gets delivered to everyone at everyone at the associate producer level and up. So what's DTNS's P.O. box? Editor's desk. Tom recommends P.O. boxes. What else did I talk about? And introduces a new editor's desk opening. Hooray! I don't think the editor's desk needs to be longer, JPEG. Why would you want it to be longer? It just seems like I would just be stretching. What else did I talk about? This is the problem. I unchecked all of the emails and now I can't. I can't remember what I talked about. It was, I mean, it sometimes is 30 minutes if we've got enough material to talk about. It was the P.O. boxes. And then it was, Tom talks about what podcasts are worth doing even if they don't make money. Yeah. There we go. Oh no, there's a stream every day, Nick with a C. Pretty much every day. Now tomorrow it'll just be Live With It being streamed. Oh, JPEG, you're trying to fit it into the old template of a half-hour show and then a half-hour post show. I get it. I get it. Don't worry, I will stick around. I'm not ending the stream. But yeah, there's going to be something every day. So Monday will usually be this: me doing office hours, chatting with folks, and then doing editor's desk. Tuesdays will be just office hours. So it'll just be me hanging out, chatting. Wednesday is Live With It. Thursday's DTNS Live. And Friday is the hangout where I invite other people on. And we just sort of chill and kick around some stories. Tom is a nonconformist. No. Don't try to box me in and say I'm a nonconformist. Okay, hold on. I got to publish this. It's much harder to publish when I'm trying to chat with y'all because you're too much fun. All right. I got to find the editor's desk show. There it is. Editor's desk today. That's the one. Let me make sure that's the one. It is. Okay. Upload it to Patreon. It's funny because I'm usually on Twitch, but I was looking at YouTube for something else and saw you were live. Oh, look at that. Happy to see you anywhere, Howard. You could submit titles. I don't know what I'd do with them. Maybe I'll look at them later if you submit them. It's old habit, right? All right. Let's see. This is going to paid members. Add to a podcast. I can't forget to do that. I got to add it to the bonus episodes. Add to collection. Editor's desk collection. Okie doke. And then I think I can publish it. There it goes. All righty. Your post is live and ready to share. Go check your Patreon, patrons. Tell me how fast you get this. It should be showing up in the next 20 minutes to 3 days. Patreon doesn't. The posts don't go up very fast. Lawn Dog says, Tom, we've known each other for probably well over 10 years, hopefully. But do we really know each other? Do you like hot sauce? And I'm not talking about the crap you typically buy in the store. I'm talking about the gourmet stuff. Gourmet stuff? I mean, yes, I like hot sauce. And I'm a hot sauce nonconformist. Any hot sauce is worth it. There are hot sauces I like better than others, but honestly, I just want hot sauce. If it's a Tabasco packet and that's all you got, I'll take it. But yes, I just put Tapatio, which is the crap you buy in stores, on my eggs for lunch. We had eggs for lunch. Fried egg, bacon. We had breakfast for lunch, which I guess is just brunch. But yeah, Eileen was like, I want to make that bacon. Zombie snot from Hell's Fire. I have not had that one. What was the one I had? Let me see. Maybe I can find the photo of it. There was one I had in Oklahoma, of all places. It was pretty good. Did I take a picture of it, though? I don't remember. It was at Boomerang's. See, I took a picture of my eggs. I don't think I took a picture of the hot sauce. Oh, wait. Maybe it was the Mexican restaurant one. I thought I wanted to take a picture of it to remember it. Oh, I don't think I did. It was some kind of Chipotle, like special Oklahoma made hot sauce. It was pretty good though. If I could point you to a company that makes fantastic hot sauce with all their products, it would be Hellfire Hot Sauce. Do you work for Hellfire Hot Sauce, Lawn Dog? I'm kidding. Even if you do, it's fine. Yeah, I do love a good hot sauce though. I'm not going to lie. All right. We don't need to keep seeing that up on the screen, do we? All right. Anybody get, Editor's Desk yet on Patreon? Oh, Adam 12 got the Patreon email. So it hasn't showed up in the podcast, but you're right. The email would come really fast. I think the emails do come out pretty much immediately, but the showing up in the RSS feed is different. All right. Let me go back to this place. Let's just see what snooty old tech meme is talking about. OpenAI acquires product analytics company StatSig and shuffles executive roles, with the CEO becoming CTO of applications. What's that about? Building out its applications team under Fiji Simo, its new CEO of applications, who left her former position, is Instacart, right? So yeah, OpenAI is going to start doing a bunch of apps. Keep an eye out for this. This is going to be a thing. Now the apps will probably be, I shouldn't say that. I was going to say a lot of the apps may just be in ChatGPT, but actually I bet a bunch of them are not. It's shuffling executives roles. StatSig is an A/B testing company. So this is more something they need in order to try to make better apps. OpenAI is bringing on its founder and CEO as a C-suite executive, CTO of applications, heading up project engineering for both ChatGPT and Codex. Once the acquisition is finalized, employees become OpenAI employees, subject to regulatory approval, operate independently. All right, what are the other shufflings here? Srinivas Narayanan, who heads up the company's engineering and oversaw the development of ChatGPT developer APIs, is being promoted to CTO of B2B. That's basically them defining his role as not consumer apps. Yeah, I know you develop ChatGPT, but let's have you do the API stuff more, okay? And we'll oversee all the business side apps covering startups, enterprises, government, reporting to the COO. And Kevin Weil, OpenAI's CPO. So many C-suite executives, too many. Can we talk about C-suite inflation? There's just too much. He'll be spinning up a new team at the company as its VP of AI for science. For science! Kevin Weil, the CPO, will transition onto the research side. Weil's former product team, including, will now report directly to Simo. Oh, okay. So they took the product team and they're like, that needs to be in the applications team because it's product. So they're going to report to Fiji Simo, and Kevin, you won't have all those reports anymore. So we're going to move you into research and do science. That all makes sense to me. Nothing seems particularly weird about any of that. There you go. OpenAI becoming an app maker. You heard it here first, or second, maybe. It could. Howard wonders if the StatSig thing would deliver more interesting models around user activity for their customers. It could. That's probably not the only reason they bought it, though. Hold on. Lawn Dog had a question that I missed here. Okay. You know what? I'm going back here. Adam said, what happened with the book we helped fund? Did that publisher go under? It did. I'm really sorry about that. It went bankrupt and it canceled my book and didn't pay me anything and didn't give anybody their money back. And it is my intention, because I did get a hold of the list of everybody's contact info that supported it, to give everyone at the very least a digital copy of it for free. And I'm working on it right now. I need to get it in a readable format. You know what, though? I'm starting to think maybe I just send a Dropbox link to everybody and be like, here it is in its current state. And the longer you wait, the better it's going to be. You can download it now and then re-download it later. So maybe I'll do that. Can't get my messages to send on Twitch. You know, that is interesting. I'm not seeing a lot of Twitch messages here. Just the YouTube ones. Huh. What do you think about investing in tech stocks? Okay, so I am not an investment advisor. My question is, the fact that when you join these things and invest when they become popular in the media, it might be too late. I know you're not obligated to give investment advice. Yeah, I'm not an investment advisor. And honestly, if I were you, I would not take any of my investment advice for two reasons. One, I've never had a success investing. And two, I don't let myself invest in tech companies. So I have zero experience in investing in tech companies because I cover them. So with that said, as my bona fides, my opinion is that it always seems too late when something's going well, because it used to be worse. But you need to get past that perception and just say, like, okay, but at what point will this company go down? You know, is there no upside? So for NVIDIA, for example, you would look at things and go, is there nowhere else for them to grow? Well, no, data centers are growing and growing and growing. Maybe the bottom will fall out of that soon, but probably not, because you know what we always need? Compute. And you know who is competing with NVIDIA? Compute? Not that many people. So that's a pretty solid business they're in. Even if AI isn't booming as much as it did, it's going to grow. And NVIDIA is also in robotics, which is definitely growing. So you got a good chance. You know, future results, past results are no guarantee of future results. But I wouldn't call NVIDIA done yet. Apple would be one where I would start to get worried. But even like a few years ago, when it was like too late to get in on the Apple boom, it was still a good investment. And I feel like Alphabet is probably a good investment. But again, I'm not an investment advisor, so all these things could be wrong. But I'm like, Alphabet still has a lot of things going on and has started to do them well. I know Justin vigorously disagrees with me on that assessment, and he may end up being the right one. But I think Google really does know that it needs other things than advertising, and it's positioning itself. But also, advertising money isn't going away. And as long as Google doesn't screw it up, they'll still make a lot of money off advertising. So anyway, there you go. There's my 2 cents. All right, back to catching up with the current chat messages. If Tom can read this, my very unscientific test worked. Yes, Chewy Baka. You know what, E. Clay Thomason? Neither you or I are investment advisors, but the words I would stick to index funds do seem wise to me. Banana. Okay, that makes sense to me. You are portraying growth for the future, and that's a good outlook, and I would generally agree with you. And that would apply to anything. Like, I picked NVIDIA because we all know NVIDIA really well, and they're well covered, but that could apply to anything. I don't have an assessment of El Yucateco's sauces, and I think I need to have more of an assessment of those. Yeah. Even if you were a fantastic tech investor, sharing your picks could be viewed negatively. I suppose so. But I have none. So that's the honest truth. Has Microsoft fixed that SSD problem yet? Yeah, I think so. What are your concerns about Apple? They haven't had a successful new product line, and their existing product lines are showing signs of flattening. So that doesn't mean they won't turn out of this. In fact, I think people are too negative about Apple. They'll be fine. I mean, Yahoo still exists, right? Apple's not going anywhere. But as far as being a growth stock, they're showing signs of like, ooh, this might not be your first pick if you really want fast growth. GPEG asks, Google's best acquisition was YouTube? It's kind of shaping up that way. I mean, honestly, their best acquisition was DoubleClick. Everyone forgets that they bought the evil DoubleClick. And at the time, Google was perceived so positively that everyone thought they've eliminated DoubleClick as evil. Now DoubleClick will be good. And instead, DoubleClick ate their heart. And now everyone thinks about Google the way they used to think about DoubleClick. But yeah, I would say Google's best acquisition was definitely DoubleClick and just eating the burgeoning internet advertising market whole. You have become the evil you tried to eliminate. Anthropic raised a $13 billion series. Oh my God, that just made me fall asleep halfway through it. DoubleClick was an advertising agency, GPEG. I don't know if YouTube's second best, Jesus. Maybe. It's definitely in the top 5. Probably in the top 3. But it's your point. Oh, look at this. This is exciting. Megan Maroney. Some of you know Megan Maroney. Megan Maroney, friend of the show, longtime tech TV person, briefly did Daily Tech Headlines. She works for Axios now. OpenAI details its plan to add guardrails for teens. I didn't. I used that story today on Jason. Jason put it in Daily Tech News Show, and I did not clock to the fact that it was Megan who wrote that. There's a great Acquired episode on Google and Alphabet that dived into the DoubleClick acquisition. Megan did not launch Daily Tech News Headlines. Daily Tech Headlines was launched by me, and it was just me for the longest time. And then Rich Struffolino started doing it with me. And then down the road, I started bringing in other people like Jen Cutter. And then we tried to bring in Megan. At the same time, we brought in Rob. And then Megan got the job at Axios. And then Sarah started doing it after Megan stopped doing it. Or around the same time that Megan was doing it. Yeah, no, Sarah was doing it before, actually. Take that back. Because I remember Sarah helped train Megan. So yeah. Rich Stroffolino, there was an episode of Experiment Week. GPEG, did you not listen to it? Where Rich explained what he's been doing. But the short answer is he works for David Sparks' CISO series and produces It's a Thing. He left Daily Tech Headlines to go take a full-time job with David Spark, but he kept doing It's a Thing. That's okay. It's okay. I do the same thing. I was talking to somebody earlier today. Oh, it was Jason. I was talking to Jason today when we were recording Daily Tech News Show. And he's like, I got this new shotgun mic. And then we were talking about it. And he's like, yeah, I've got this mic, which is great for podcasting. But, sometimes I don't want the mic in the shot. I was like, oh, is it a lav? He's like, no, it's a shotgun mic. I'm like, oh, right. You told me that when you said I got a new shotgun mic. So I totally get it. Hey, look at all those DTNS emojis, Willie Scott. Love it. Yeah. So let me see if there's anything I actually have to work on. Let me check my email. What to expect with Dolby Vision 2 has been posted. 2 members will receive merch soon on Patreon. Why would you need a microphone for a shotgun? How else are you going to record the shotgun? E. Clay Thomason? Google alert. Consistency is key. Spam and some spam and more spam and my dog walker. Oh, this is important. Anybody, is it at the analyst or the advisor level? I think it's the analyst level. On up gets a digital Len Peralta print free as a patron on the first of every month. I just sent them out. And when I sent them out, I realized that was the last of the last batch of Len Peralta downloads that I had gotten. So I have to get the new batch. Oh, really? You going to treat me like that, Dropbox? So yeah, Len emailed me a Dropbox link to like, here's the next batch of 12 digital arts to give out. And then I clicked on it, and instead of opening it in Dropbox, it opened it in the browser and was like, you need to log in. Oh, and you also need to authenticate. This is why I like passkey. Because if it said you need to log in, I was like, great, here's my passkey, and I'd be in. I'd already be in by now. Oh my gosh. And Authy has changed how the logos look, and I can't find anything anymore. Where is my Dropbox second factor? Why can't I find it? Seriously, I'm going to have to search. There it is. Oh, right, because it's helpfully called my email address. That's great. It's, see, it used to have a logo. Oh, it's this one, isn't it? Is it? No, it's not that one. There it is. Maybe I could rename it. Nope. Can't rename it there. I'll deal with that later. Okay. So now I have to go to my file folder and find 2026 downloads, put it in the analyst prints, and now I have 12 new Len Peralta digital images to give away on Patreon. Thank you, Len. You rock. Tell us the story of that baseball. Does it have a story? This baseball's name is George. When he was a small boy. Actually, I think I do know the story of this baseball. It's 7 seasons long, and it's called Deep Space Nine. Thank you, Nick with a C. It is weird, Willie Scott, that it's called a shotgun mic when it's for far away, despite the fact that a shotgun is for close range. It's just because it's shaped like a shotgun. And actually, some shotgun mics don't have the range, but it should more properly be called a sniper mic. A new web browser just signed in. Is this you? Yes. Just stop harassing me about you having made me do that when I didn't need to otherwise. All right. This baseball is a official collegiate league baseball. That's what it says. You can't read it. That's what it says. And I believe, if I am correct, that we picked this baseball up off the ground outside of Pac Bell Park in 2003 when Eileen and I were shooting our engagement photos at Pac Bell Park. We actually got into Pac Bell Park. The photographer knew how to ask. They're like, hey, can we just step inside and take some pictures with the park in the background? And the security person was like, yeah, go ahead. And then we went outside to these statues with like baseball players, not the Willie Mays one, but there's some like just kind of generic. There were anyway. I don't know if they're still there. These just generic baseballs, right? And out there was a field where people could just play outside the park, and this baseball was just sitting there. No, there's nobody there. It just been left and abandoned, and so we picked it up and used it in the pictures, and I've kept it ever since. I've got a box full of baseballs that my laptop sits on. And after watching Deep Space Nine, I was rewatching Deep Space Nine years ago. And after watching the episode where Sisko leaves the baseball on the desk, and, as a sign that he'll be back, I was like, oh, you know what? I should have a baseball on my desk. So it's been sitting here, not doing anything. And then Joe was getting mad. I mean, mad's too strong of a word. He was getting slightly irritated. That's probably even too strong. But Joe was like, when you flip your pen, we can hear that. It's kind of noisy, especially when you drop it. And I was like, okay, but I have a nervous tick where I need to do something. So I started picking up the baseball, and it's not loud. Yeah, see? That's the loudest it gets. So it's better. Anyway, that's the story of George the baseball. PC Miles wants to know if I snatched it from a small child. No, there was no one around. I would have, though. I really would have. WhatsApp warns of 0 day. Yeah, I have to fiddle with something, Zoe. I'm the same. I'm just always messing with something. Let's look at Dolby announces Dolby Vision 2 is still the number one story on Google News. That it was number one when Jason and I were doing DTNS earlier today. That's why it's the big story on DTNS. Microsoft pushes Windows 11 25 H2 to release preview. Oh, okay. That's good to know. I guess that happened last week. Why is that the number 2 story today then, if it's like 4 days old? Because Labor Day. That's why. This always happens on the first day back from a U.S. holiday. Google News has a bunch of old stuff in it as everybody catches up on the news. Because I think their algorithm is based on clicks. As people are clicking on things, the algorithm goes, ooh, okay, this must be a hot story. WordPress shows off Telex, its experimental AI development tool. What's that about? An early version of an AI development tool that Matt Mullenweg described as VO or Lovable, but for WordPress. Those are vibe coding services. Mullenweg demonstrated how Telex would let users create Gutenberg blocks, the modular bits of text and columns, and make a WordPress website. You can go to telex.automatic.ai. Tell me about your block. You can make the block. Okay. Type in a prompt. Thank you. For which sort of content block you want to produce, and then it's returned as a zip file, which you can install as a plugin on WordPress. That's pretty nifty. It was forming an AI team to steward the development of AI. Yeah, all right. Early testers found that Telex still has a ways to go. So many things do. I wouldn't mind this working, though. Once it gets to the point where people are like, actually, it's pretty good now. I'd try this out. Hey, anybody want to see my Feedly? I'll just sit here and wait for the lag as that goes out on the internet. And then you see it, and then you hear it, and then you respond it. Well, too bad, apparently. Please try to reload Feedly. In case this is due to a networking or caching issue. Well, I was going to show it to you. What the hell, Feedly? Feedly having some issues. It got scared. It got shy. It's like, that's so many people. I don't want to do that. Yours is working? Oh, maybe. This is Chrome. It should work. Feedly, why you got to feed me that like that? Let me see if it works in Firefox, because I'm using Chrome for the on-screen thingy, because I don't have as many ad blockers on it. Oh, as soon as I tried to load it in Firefox, it loaded in Chrome. There you go. There's my Feedly. I always go in and just mark all the music ones as red, because I don't use that one. And there's my personal feeds. Ooh, Apple lost an AI robotics researcher to Meta. Linux home server, sleep on idle and wake on demand the simple way. Daniel Abraham, Silksong, Doctor's Story. I mean, if any of you see something in here, you're like, wait, explain that. And it's a tech story, because I'm not going to get drawn into the other stuff that you might see in here. I might open it up and we'll just kind of walk through that. Maybe that's the thing I'll do on office hours from sometimes. So that it was kind of helpful so far, like with the WordPress story just now, to just be like, well, let me read it for the first time and kind of talk out what it's about. I feel like that's helpful for me if that's entertaining for you. I have both Twitch and YouTube open, and the Twitch stream is 1 to 2 seconds ahead of YouTube. Interesting. Stray Kids breaks record for most #1 albums for a group since 2000. Yay. I'm going to mark that for Ibit and Eileen. Jordan Walker. You'll see a lot of Cardinal stuff in here. This is not just tech. This is all personal feeds. If I bring it down to tech, it looks more like this. Discord audio would be the fastest, of course. Maybe I'll start doing these in Discord too. I didn't today, did I? When the Cardinals are playing the Phillies, yes. NVIDIA stock falls. Oh no. And then it'll go back up again. Then it'll fall. And then it'll go back up again. Nobody talks about it going up until it goes way up, right? Until it like sets a record or something. R.I.P. Graham Greene, really? Wait, he was still alive? When am I coming to New York City? I don't know. I have no plans to come to New York City right now. I would love to. I love New York City. It's always fun. La Seraphim's playing there. La Seraphim U.S. concert schedule. So yeah, it's tomorrow night at Prudential Center. Well, I guess that's Newark, but you know what I mean. The lowest lag would be here in this room. You're absolutely right, Stealth Dave. If you want the lowest lag possible in this show, sit right there. Very few get to experience it. Anybody here from Oklahoma? Right. Let me look at my calendar. I did the editor's desk. Oh, wait, that's next week's calendar. Don't mark it. I did the editor's desk. Okay, good. And then I have to do Cord Killers later. Actually, Cord Killers in like 45 minutes. G. James from Nebraska. Zoe and I saw you in Austin. Now it's your turn to come to us. I guess that's fair. I do want to go back to England too. You're in Arkansas. Okay, Eclay, maybe you can answer this for me. When I was driving, and I really only drove between Tulsa and McAllister. And when I drove down, I took the side roads. When I drove back, I took the turnpike. But wherever I was, my friend who lives in Oklahoma was like, if you don't have Oklahoma plates, make sure you watch out, because they like to tag people with out of state plates. I'm like, all right. And of course, they gave me a truck with Nevada plates. So I'm driving down the road. I'm being awful careful. Every time I got passed by somebody speeding, they had Arkansas plates. Now, I probably got passed by some people with Oklahoma plates and it just didn't register because I wasn't, I was more thinking about that out of state plate thing. But is there an explanation for that? Why do Arkansas people appear to speed more to me? I did go up to Michigan one time. Oh, and Willie Scott, I know you weren't able to make it. I was doing a work thing, and me and Loria Petrucci did a little meetup. Zoe, I can't wait for you to visit LA. We're going to go get Korean food. Because they tell everyone else to slow down, Paolo says. The Arkansas people, slow down. I enjoyed my time in Oklahoma. McAllister is a interesting little town. There was a really cool little store that I posted on Instagram about it was for women, and I was with two female friends. But it had gelato and like lots of cool little boutique items. It was fun. Oh yeah, we should do a meetup when Zoe's here in honor of Zoe. That's a great idea. And Zoe can bring bacon and we'll bring everything else. Maybe it's in Northwest Arkansas thing. I'm in Central Arkansas. And nobody really speaks a lot. Nobody speaks a lot. I thought you were going to say nobody really speeds. Nobody really speaks a lot around here. Hey, G. James B, you're back on Twitch. No America trips before January? Okay. Too bad. Yeah, you just zoom in. Oh, you did mean speeds. Okay. That makes more sense. I thought you were trying to say, I don't know, no one talks to each other here. So if there is a reason, they wouldn't tell me. It was just a typo. I should have assumed that was the case. It's been a while since I was in Los Angeles. Lived there for 10 years. Oh, I didn't know that, Howard. Maybe the cops are chatty so they don't pull over the Arkansas people who don't speak a lot, because it'll just be boring. That's funny. The other thing I noticed in Oklahoma was the number of dispensaries rivals California. I am sometimes impressed, will be the word I will choose, by the number of dispensaries in Los Angeles. And I think it's pretty similar in San Francisco, but you're just like driving down the road like, oh, there's a marijuana dispensary. Wow. It blows my mind. You know, back when I was in my 20s and would have cared more, these were illegal. And then I was in Oklahoma. I'm driving through these small towns, and you're like, it's a little town with a brick building and a schoolhouse and a church and a diner and a dispensary. And I'm like, wait, what? Yeah, it was funny. Anyway, that was prompted by Paolo saying Oklahoma is the opposite of a speakeasy because you can't speak easily. I think that's an Arkansas thing, though. Dollar General, dispensary, that is real. That is the vibe. Yeah, John. John says Maine is like that too. Oh yeah, the Tulsa King show. Okay. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense now. You put that in perspective. Tulsa Airport was like a really nice version of the Burbank Airport. They're both tiny airports, like 14 gates. I think they have exactly the same number of gates, honestly. Burbank might actually have fewer gates. I think the new Burbank terminal they're building is going to have 14 gates. I think the current one might have fewer. Anyway, they're pretty much close, but the Tulsa Airport's newer. So it's like you're in an airport with marble floors or tile floors and, you know, nice restaurant. It's nice enough. You go to Burbank and it's like everything's old. It's quaint. It's cute. And I will miss it because they're just going to get rid of it and replace it. And you do feel like you're in the 30s because it was built in the 30s. But yeah, LA doesn't smell like weed everywhere, Nick. Just, you know, some places. It smells like a lot of things. Hop of happiness. That's true. Some of them nice, some of them not. Yeah, I wouldn't say I smell weed here a lot. Every once in a while. Usually it would be at a gathering of some sort, right? Or like a sports ball game or something where somebody sneaked something in. I generally don't. Even there's a dispensary near me that I walk past when I go to the barber shop. I never smell. Maybe once I've smelled something there. It's all happening inside. It's not like a fried chicken place where they're like trying to pump the smell out to attract people. All right. Well, this is office hours. I know there's more of you here sampling it today than would normally be there. And I will continue to evolve office hours as we go. Today was a little different because it's the first day that I'm doing it in a long time. It's the editor's desk day. So, I stopped down and did the editor's desk in the middle. Hey, Tumwater Troy. Glad you like it, JPEG. So I don't know what else I will add to it in the future, but this is the kind of things I used to do. I would just be prepping for the show. I guess, you know what I should do is look at the Cord Killers rundown and make sure. Well, I did look at my feeds. Let me go back and look at the personal feeds again. Chloe Mull to become top editor. Google can keep Chrome, but okay. This is breaking news. This just came across the feed. We got the judge. We got the judgment on the Google case. You know, the one where they said, we want Google to get rid of the Chrome browser. We want Google to be broken up, all of that stuff. And what have I been saying? What have I been saying for this entire time? Google will not have to sell its Chrome search engine, but must share information with competitors. District Judge Amit Mehta found that Google, BBC phrases it as illegally trampled its competition. There's no quotes around that, so I don't know that that's what Mehta said. Yeah. Oh, okay. So that's all they got there. Hold on. Hold, please. Let's go back to the feeds. Burger 809 is closing. Google can keep the Chrome browser. Google to keep Chrome. Did BBC break? Oh, no. Here we go. CNBC. Federal judge ruled Tuesday that Google can keep its Chrome browser. The judge didn't rule that they can keep the Chrome browser. It's just that everyone decided that they were going that's what they wanted to happen. It became the story. And as I have been saying over and over and over, like, that's a thing the Department of Justice asked for. I don't think it's likely that it'll be granted. And now the story is the judge ruled they could keep it. The judge didn't rule they could keep it. The judge just didn't rule that they have to divest it. U.S. District Judge ruled, he didn't rule against it. I would not phrase it that way. Google will not be required to divest Chrome. Well, okay, I take it back. The decision states Google will not be required to divest Chrome. But that's him responding to the DOJ request. The DOJ requested that, and so he had to address that. Nor will the court include a contingent divestiture of the Android operating system in the final judgment. Plaintiffs overreached in seeking forced divestiture of these key assets, which Google did not use to effect any legal restraints. So that sounds really dramatic and important, but it's really not. That's just the judge's way of saying, you asked for this, I ain't giving it to you. You asked for this, I ain't giving it to you. Here's why. It's an overreach. The company can make payments to preload products, but they cannot have exclusive contracts. Boom. That's exactly what I thought was going to happen. They're going to say no more exclusivity clauses. The DOJ asked Google to stop the practice of compelled syndication, which refers to the practice of making certain deals with companies to ensure its search engine remains the default choice. Oh, okay. I want to make sure I mark this, by the way. So it's going to continue. They cannot make it a contract stipulation that Google becomes the default search engine in browsers and smartphones. Okay. Apple pays billions of dollars a year to be the default. It's lucrative for Apple and a value for Google to give them, which refers to the practice of making certain deals with companies to ensure its search engine remains the default choice. Okay. Google will not be barred from making payments or offering other consideration to distribution partners for preloading or placement of Google Search, Chrome, or its Gen AI products. Cutting off payments from Google almost certainly will impose substantial downstream harms. So they can pay for preloading or placement. They cannot make exclusivity. They can also not do compelled syndication. It refers to the practice of making certain deals. Interesting. I'm going to have to dig in more on what that compelled syndication means. but Google will not be barred from making payments or offering other consideration to distribution partners for preloading or placement. So they can still make deals with Apple and Mozilla. Yeah, we're going to have to read this actual decision, aren't we? Yeah, it sounds like they can still make deals. They just can't make exclusivity deals. Let's see what TechCrunch has to say about this. Ooh, this is fun. I'm glad this happened. Google will not be forced to break up its search business. Outlined remedies. Google, okay, for example, Google will not be able to condition Play Store licensing on the distribution of certain apps or tie revenue share payments to keeping certain apps. I didn't realize that was a question, but yeah, that means Google cannot say, well, if you want to get in the Play Store, or if you want to have, oh, I know what this means. This means if you want to have the Play Store on Android, Play Store licensing on the distribution of certain apps, you have to carry Gmail, right? You have to give us rev share. Google will also have to share certain search index and user interaction data with qualified competitors. That totally is something that I was saying was probably going to happen, some kind of data sharing, compelled data sharing to kind of level the playing field. Meta has not yet issued a final judgment. Instead, he ordered Google and the Department of Justice to meet and confer and submit a revised final judgment by September 10th that aligns with his opinion. This is important. Thank you, TechCrunch. Okay, that's why this is so weird and address the, I'm not going to make them get rid of Chrome. This is not the remedy order. This is Meta. What did they call this? Google US outlined remedies. So this is Meta telling Google and the Department of Justice, look, you guys were real far apart on what you thought the remedies should be. So let me just tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to require them to get rid of Chrome. I'm not going to require them to get rid of Android. Here are the things I'm definitely going to do. I'm going to require them to do this, require them to do that. I want you two to get together and take into account what I said I want, and then give us a revised final judgment proposal that I'll sign off by September 10th. It wanted to force Google to divest Chrome. DOJ also called on Judge Meta to force Google to share its search index. And Judge Meta's decision may also affect the outcome of separate antitrust trial Google is engaged in. That's the one about advertising tech, the marketplaces. Too largely parent, even though Meta. Okay, so yeah, so this is him saying you guys had wildly different requests, and it would be torturous for me to address those. So here's what I'm willing to do: you two confer, and then give me your revised proposals that fit within there, and then I'll make the final judgment. Yeah. So this doesn't order Google to do anything yet. September 10th is when that would, the earliest that would happen. And then Google will appeal this. That was the other thing. I didn't see an appeal here, and I thought that was weird. It's because this isn't the judgment yet. This is not the final judgment. Interesting. All right. Hopefully somebody has some good legal mind, has another good take on this by tomorrow. I'm just trying to close that. But there you go. So yeah, I told you they weren't going to do this. They're not going to do that. It'll probably be the big story on DTNS tomorrow morning. No, Tumwater, Apple can pay them under what he said. He's like, they can still make payments. They just can't have exclusive contract. They can pay for placement, according to what I've read so far, but I haven't read the actual judgment. But from what it sounded from TechCrunch and BBC and others, they could pay for placement, but not say they were the only one, right? So I'm curious how that works with defaults. Yeah. There you go. All right. Well, that was fun. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to go off and get prepped real quick, and I'll be on the Modern Rogue channel for Cord Killers in just about a half an hour. All right. That ended up being a really exciting end to the office hours today. I will, tomorrow at 1 o'clock is Live With It, the premiere at 1 o'clock with the rice cooker episode. The Cuckoo Rice Cooker. Sarah's going to talk with Roger about that. And then I'll see you for DTNS Live in a couple of days on Thursday. Bye, everybody.